Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Of course, your favourite rugby show right here on Cape Town TV. Hopefully you've managed to find the signal now. For the last few weeks you would have seen the bottom of your CTV scrolling bar. You would have seen that the Cape Town TV signal channel has changed. And we are now on that new channel. So unfortunately, I know some of you might have missed the show last week, but you could have always caught up on YouTube if you got YouTube accessibility. All the shows are uploaded onto YouTube. Just go straight to the Western Province Club Rugby page, www.wpclubrugby.co.za, and you'll see the highlights and clips of the Cape Rugby TV show right there. My esteemed panel is a little bit shorter this evening. Mr. Parvat has decided to take a little bit of a breather. Mr. Abrams, hello.
Good evening, David.
Jy lyk hom lekker? Altyd?
It's nearly time for the long weekend.
Why is it that people tell me that our female demographic has gone up because of you?
Well, I told you that right from the start.
You know, I thought that would be Morgan's job. How's Morgs?
How's it, James? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty healthy. Well, I'm not about healthy, but I'm good. I'm good, yeah. And how was the weekend?
No, it was good. It was good. Pretty relaxing. Looking forward to 2 relaxing weekends before the league starts.
Super Brew seemed to work for you.
Super Brew did a little bit better for me this week. I've moved up into the top 95.
You've moved up into the top 95. I think I went down a little bit. Yeah, folks, it was an interesting, or at least an interesting few games this week. Apparently, this is the highest scoring season. If you see me sipping a little bit of water during the course of the show, my apologies. But the keel is a bit sat. Right, let's take a look at some of those Super 15 fixtures then over the weekend. Some big results then. The Stormers 2017 points win over the Bulls. That was about as tight as you could get. The Lions going down to the Crusaders 23-13. The Force 45-19 over the Reds. The Brumbies just losing to the Sharks. The Chiefs beating the Waratahs healthily there, 30 points to 13. Hurricanes 38 points to 47 loss to the Cheetahs. And the Highlanders 43-12 over the Rebels. But let's start at the very top there, even though it was our very last game. The Stormers over the Bulls. I think we all called the Stormers win. Did we call it that would be
Yeah.
that? I mean, the Bulls the week before, Mr. H, had an enormous victory. And they came down here and they basically got a hiding.
Yes, and I think, you know, what interested me particularly was the atmosphere. I haven't seen Newland as full as that for many years, and it was great to see. I think although we heard about the pink,
Yes.
we were quite shocked when they actually
Came out. Yeah. Well, of course, Puma has taken over the sponsorship there, and the Bulls certainly look a whole lot different to how they looked before, where it was all blue. Do you think some of the Bulls supporters maybe are not so happy about that?
If I was a supporter, I wouldn't be happy.
Because you know what was interesting to me was the amount of fans that were outside wearing the pink shirts. Yeah. Morgs, you're a big Puma fan.
I also had a pink shirt.
You? Yes, I know. I had a pink shirt on. That was the formal pink shirt. Morgs, you're a big Puma fan.
Yeah, James, look, Puma, they've been good to me. And yeah, always trendsetters, if you want to call it that.
They are. They're sort of like cutting edge, huh?
Yeah, they are. So, I mean, look, I don't know so much about the pink, but I mean, Stade Francais have done it in France, and they seem to have done really, I mean, they seem to have kicked off. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's sales at the end of the day, and if the women are going to wear it, then I suppose the women can wear the pink and the men can wear the blue.
I saw more men wearing the pink than the blue. But let's look at the game. A tough game. I mean, I spoke to some of the Stormers players after the match, and we'll catch up with them in a minute. And they said it was one of the toughest matches that they'd played in years.
Yeah, look, James, I mean, like you could see, I mean, I was sitting in the stands, and the intensity that the game was played at, I mean, it was literally test match atmosphere and intensity. And I think that bodes well for Springboks, you know. I think the Springboks have, a lot of the guys who come out of those two teams, and the level of rugby was very, very high. So obviously a few guys competing for places and that kind of thing. So yeah, interesting times, eh?
We were of course hoping to have Joey Salmons on the show this evening, folks. Joey, one of South Africa's top referees, was going to come and talk to us. But one of the complaints that I heard after the game from some of the Bulls players was that there were just far too many penalties. It seemed like they really had been blown to bits. What was your feeling on that?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of moaning and groaning at the end of the day. And I mean, I must be honest, I think Craig Joubert really sort of managed the game well. Obviously, you know, there were more penalties awarded against the Bulls, but you're going to find that in those kind of tough derbies. And I think, you know, if you look all in all at the game, I think the Stormers deserve the victory.
Do you think the referees are a little bit too nervous at the moment to make mistakes? They're like desperate to be very careful?
Look, at the end of the day, I think what people have got to realize is that the referee's got to watch so many different aspects of the game that, I mean, it's really not an easy job when it's a packed 55,000-seater stadium and this, you know, and all that kind of thing. I mean, I sat with the mic, sort of with the referee's mic in my ear, and it really, I mean, he's got a tough job in his hands. So
talking about that,
one or two decisions that sort of go, you know.
Talking about that referee's mic, folks, it's an incredible apparatus. In that you can get yourself this little earpiece that you put in your ear during the game. Go to www.sportscom with a double m.co.za. You can pick those up for about $80 each, and it's a fantastic apparatus that you can listen to directly to what the referee is saying while you're watching the game. It adds an entirely new dimension to the game itself while you're watching it. So that's something you want to pick up and take to the game. Maybe a few friends. www.sportscom.co.za. As I say, it changes things completely while you're listening to the game. But I think what a lot of people don't realize that referees have got an enormous job to do, not only on the field, but once they've finished the field, every single move that they've made, every decision that they've made, within a half an hour has been logged and tracked, much like the players running lines and that. And then the referees go back and they actually have an analysis of their own performance. And Mr. H, from what I understand, this is one of the reasons why South Africa's got 5 of the referees ranked as the top referees in the world.
Yeah, and they take, you know, those guys sit with him. They analyze and they tell him straight, but here you made a mistake, you know.
Yeah.
This is not the interpretation. And it's great like that because you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I, you know, for Saturday, I can't. Maybe it's because, you know, if your team is on the winning side, you don't see the referee's mistakes. But, I didn't see a lot of when they say that he penalized them a lot, you must understand that they had a new fetcher.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to ask you about, because the Bulls do tend to play a bit of a dominating game. Deon Stegman was out with a hamstring injury. They had, like you say, a slightly different approach. They have got that bullying approach where they do tend to go right to the very edge. And they obviously on Saturday were crossing that edge a little bit too often, and the Stormers were really maintaining their discipline. I think possibly they even got set up for it.
You could be quite right, but one don't want to give away too many secrets. In that's a very technical area.
You see, I've realized,
if you listen to what Jean de Villiers said, he said, we knew that in that last scrum we're going to milk that penalty.
Really?
And they knew that they were going to do something to get a penalty.
Yeah.
So, you know, these guys know what they're doing on the field.
Yeah, they're very clever, very clever. We seem to still watch rugby like couch potatoes, but that game was definitely of another level. Right, folks, so you wanted to know what happened after the games and just how the players felt after the game. We managed to speak to some of the players straight away after the game, and we know that during that time, you were talking about 30 seconds after kickoff, they are absolutely hammered. But still, they had the decency to talk to us. Let's see what they had to say.
Thank you very much, James.
Happy?
Very, very happy. Ecstatic. Yeah, very tough game. You know, it's always tough against them, but hey, proud of the boys. Team effort, wonderful.
Yeah, it's a big one, huh? It's a big one. Yeah, no, it's tough out there, but
Close score, yeah, I think it's
yeah, we're lucky. We're very happy to have won. Thanks. Yeah, now we can take it easy tonight and get on the plane tomorrow night, and have a lekker tour. Thanks a lot.
can't just see the smile on my face. So excited, eh? Extremely tough game. Yeah, no, it was hard, but you know, we'll just look back at the result now, eh, and be very happy with that win. Beep.
it's like my boss away.
Happy, brother?
Very happy, yeah. But we still got a lot of work to do. The game was tough. They came back, but we absorbed the pressure and then gave it back to them.
You happy with that?
I tell you, words can't explain the ecstasy of this win, I felt. It'll probably go down in history as one of the tough games at Newlands between the two great teams. After this win, you don't want to go anywhere else but on that tour to take on the New Zealand and the Australians. And I almost said it and bash them.
Well, those fans seem to be absolutely thrilled. I mean, those are the local guys that sit at that tunnel, and now I see they're bringing out posters and everything. Take him or you spring baji, come on! But I think he was probably right there. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of Springboks coming out of those two teams, huh?
Yeah, I just picked up something that the flyer said, you know.
Peter Grant.
The Iceman. He says,
I can't.
It brings a smile to my face.
And
there's no smile.
Well, I actually, it's so interesting that you mention that, because for me it was really a question of. I actually wanted to ask you guys. I mean, I know Peter Grant pretty well. We've all known him for a while, but he has this ability to look at you, and you're not really sure if he's smiling or not smiling, you know. And he really is the Iceman when it comes to that game. Him and I think Joe Peterson have made an excellent combination of kicking players. I mean, they both have their time and place in each game of when they're going to take the kicks, Morgs?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think they're definitely sort of finding the balance nicely between running the ball and kicking the ball at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, look, they're sort of obviously new to each other in terms of Joey's been away for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it'll take a few more games, but they're definitely heading in the right direction. So, yeah, it bodes well for their tour now in Australia.
It's going to be a great tour. Let's look at some of the other results then. We don't need to go those numbers there, but the Crusaders beating the Lions 23-13. We sort of expected that.
Yeah, I think all of us said that.
Yeah. The Force, a massive win for them over the Reds. The Reds just can't seem to be getting it together.
No, but I think, you know, with so many injuries and people out of your lineup, you just can't put it together.
You think it's the end of their top life cycle? Starting to come down, they're going to keep going down, Morgs?
Yeah, well, look, I think Quade Cooper will make a big difference when he gets back. I think he's got a calming influence on the side.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, last year they were underdogs, and it's easy to play with the underdog tag.
Yeah.
This year, when a bit of expectations on your shoulders, things are not as easy as they were sort of being underdogs.
And the Sharks, a 3-point win for them over the Brumbies.
But they really fought hard for that.
That was down to the wire, huh?
That was a tough game.
Tough game.
Yeah, very, very tough game. I actually watched that one.
You actually watched that one? Well, okay.
For a change.
The Chiefs have the Waratahs 30 points to 13. The Hurricanes 38-47 lost to the Cheetahs. That is a massive score. I mean, the amount of points that was put on there, I mean, that really just goes to show that there could not have been a lot of defensive rugby being played there. I mean, they were just, everybody was running it, finding at the gaps and putting on the points. And the Cheetahs have shown that they can travel and they can do well. And again, I come back to the fact that they don't really have any star performers in that team, but they're dominating.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been at the Cheetahs at Japes, and their attitude is really, they don't go down without a fight. They don't go and defend. They go to win games, and they go to score tries, and they go to entertain their fans. And,
yeah.
I mean, they've shown on tour. I mean, they've run the ball really nicely, and as much as they'll concede a lot of points, they'll also score a lot of points. You know, it's very, very, very opposite to what the Stormers sort of approach may be in terms of the Stormers defend and they don't really put that many points on. The Cheetahs are maybe not as defensively strong, but they're really scoring a lot of tries. So
yeah,
it's sort of.
And then, of course, the final game of the week was the Highlanders 43-12 over the Rebels. Again, a massive score there.
Yeah. The Highlanders, you know, I mean, they just improving week by week.
It's going to be a big one this week. Then, of course, the Stormers taking on Highlanders in their first match.
Yep.
And as loyal supporters, we will all be behind the Stormers as patriotic South Africans. Right, let's take a look at the Super 15 conference logs then and see who's up, who's down, and who's sitting where. There you see the Stormers in the South African conference firmly sitting in first place on 24 points. The Bulls, the Sharks, the Cheetahs and the Lions, they bring up the next 4. And the Australian conference, the Brumbies that have managed to get themselves to the top of the table there. followed by the Reds, the Waratahs, the Force, and the Rebels. And in the New Zealand Conference, the mighty Highlanders, who tackle the Stormers this weekend, are top of the log at the New Zealand Conference on 22 points, followed by the Chiefs, Crusaders, Hurricanes, and the Blues. Let's take a look at that full conference log now, folks, just to see who's sitting where. Not a lot of changes. The Stormers are still on top of the log, and of course the Highlanders in second place. The Highlanders will be looking, and you see the Stormers still have a game in hand. But the Highlanders will be looking to top the table this week. If they come away with a win over the Stormers, that might very well do it for them. But hopefully things will go in the way of the Stormers, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. The Brumbies, the Chiefs, the Bulls are back up in 5. They've climbed a little bit. The Crusaders in 6, the Sharks, the Hurricanes, the Reds, the Waratahs. And right down at the bottom, it's the Rebels and, of course, the Lions. Right. It's that time of the night when we take a look at our sports nutrition supplementation. Now, it's been fantastic to see just how many people have started understanding how important it is to get through the rugby season. It looks like you left it not too late, but we really should have started this a lot earlier in the season, folks. If you're playing rugby, if you're going to gym, you need protein, all right? It's as simple as that. This is the Evox feature. Of course, Evox is the official presenter of the Cape Rugby TV show, and we talk about sports nutrition here. This is what the Stormers use. And you would have seen some of our new branding up around the side of the table here. But the key to it is that you want to make sure that, again, I go back to the recovery factor. You want to make sure that you can recover properly today so that you can train 100% tomorrow. Because when you train under 100%, you can never get better. So you always have to train at 100%, so the following day you're able to train at 105%, which will be your new 100%. I know it sounds technical, but the fact is, two critical things is you have to train at 100%, you have to break it down and build it up again, and then of course you've got to make sure that you never ever go to gym or train on a muscle that's still busy recovering. So protein for growth, recovery is absolutely critical to get from session to session. So once again, we've got those prizes up for grabs for you. This is sort of the rugby pack, courtesy of Evox. It's your rapid recovery. This is what the Stormers use after every match. They use it after every training session. They mix it up, and within 20 minutes, they take this in, and this gets them fully recovered. As fully recovered as possible, and are able to go home feeling not so tired, not so burnt out. This is good for runners, this is good for athletes, this is good for people who do cricket, soccer, boxing, kickboxing, whatever you want to do. Recovery is recovery. If you've broken a muscle down, you need to recover. Then, of course, your daily intake of eating, your Mega Grow, that's your meal replacement. It's no different to any other meal replacement that you see in the shops. If you are perhaps not someone who goes to gym and that, and you may be in hospital, a meal replacement is what babies get when they're born, and meal replacement is what some people use in hospital in case they can't eat properly. This is a high-protein meal replacement, folks, and this is what puts the muscle on after you've damaged it and make sure to get full recovery. And then finally, just to give you a little bit of an extra kick, is a creatine. All right, this creatine monohydrate is proven to have incredible recovery effects and is very fast at putting on weight. A lot of water absorption during your creatine phases, but you use this with a loading phase, and then you use it constantly after that, a teaspoon or so a day, and your recovery and your muscle growth gets you up there. All right, and this is really important that you get your muscle growth up in time for the season, because you don't want to be losing weight halfway through the season, because once the season starts, Morgs, when the season starts, there's no more time for heavy gymming and gaining weight, eh?
Yeah, James, look, a lot of the hard work needs to be put in sort of the first, let's call it 8 weeks.
Off-season.
Yeah, off-season, what a lot of guys don't realize. So, I mean, then during the season, it's obviously just the maintenance, and that's where the rapid recovery is obviously, very important for that. And before, after training sessions, like you say, and before and after games.
I mean, when you're in the middle of the season, you're busy, you do so much aerobic activity, lots of sprinting, lots of drills. There's a bit of a focus shift away from heavy gym work.
Yeah, I mean, look, your body's also taking a lot of pounding from the Saturday, so you've also got to sort of manage yourself. So the Monday and Tuesday will obviously be quite a bit of so explosive things.
Yeah.
You won't do as much big weights as you would do explosive, sort of.
Can you feel it when you haven't taken your recovery shake after your...
JP, it's extremely, extremely important. I mean, when I was playing at the top level, even at club rugby level, your body's so sore on a Monday, and I found with this rapid recovery, I mean, I cycled the August tour, and I took rapid recovery after I cycled the August, and I was feeling good. So, You know what I mean?
And you
So
didn't
it's
actually
definitely-
prepare for the
and
Argos
I-
either.
and I
You
didn't really
you
prepare.
got phoned the night before to do the Argos.
Yes, that's right. So rapid recovery definitely gave me the boost I needed for the
I think,
session.
right, folks, so if you want to win yourself the rugby pack of a rapid recovery, that's all you need to do, is send us an SMS. Tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby. Last week's winner was Luke Perenzi. Congratulations, Luke. You win yourself the rugby pack, rapid recovery, mega grown, a creatine. Folks, if you want to win yourself this rugby pack, just SMS your name and the answer right now to 33280. That's 33280, in case you can't see it on the screen there. Just tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. And don't forget your name. Throw your name in there so that we can get that to you. But congratulations to Luke Perenzi. Sounds familiar. I know that name from somewhere.
I think he's a big tweeter.
He's a tweeter, Luke Perenzi?
Yeah. Maybe wrong, but I definitely, the name.
Well, Luke, if you're out there, congratulations. You win yourself this Evox Rugby Pack. We're going to come back after the ad break. We'll take a look at what's happening out at the clubs at the moment. Of course, big rugby days this weekend. Kraaifontein had a rugby day, Brackenfell had a rugby day, a few other clubs as well. And we'll take a look to see what's coming up this weekend. Back in a mo. Well, folks, as we said, the Cape Rugby TV show is there to look after the clubs, give you publicity, and one of the clubs that came to the party over the weekend was Kraaifontein Rugby Club. It was their 65th year of rugby as a club, and they really turned it on. Billy Collins and the boys, they publicized it. They've been coming to the media seminars, which each one of you guys should be at if you're a club out there. I know we said it to at the General Council the other day. We reminded them to go back. If that happened, we don't know. But the seminars is what is changing the life of club rugby. We're now on Facebook, we're now on Twitter, we're now on YouTube, we're making videos, we're sending information in to the TV station, and the clubs are taking control at the clubs where they're handing out newsletters, they're handing out flyers, and they're using Mr. H's famous jumping castles. You've got this big thing about jumping castles. You're always saying, when people come to you and they say, what must I do to turn my event into a day? The first thing you say is, well, a jumping castle is a good idea.
In my days, there were never jumping castles.
Matras.
Yeah.
Matras in die straat. Yeah, so we went out to Kraaifontein. We caught up with Billy Collins and the boys who did such a good job there. But a lot of teams were out there on Saturday. Of course, we managed to speak to as many of the teams as possible because we want you, the club, to get the publicity so that you can get sponsorship. That's what this is about. If you get sponsorship, you get money. You get money, you've got empowerment. You can look after your club. See what happened at Kraaifontein over the weekend.
Welcome at Kraaifontein. It's good to see that Cape Rugby is here to join us on this glorious day, 65th anniversary of Kraaifontein Rugby Club. The next big game is Kraaifontein against Tygerberg 1, which is probably going to be a bit of a humdinger, so we're looking forward to that game. The next game on the A field will be Millerton 1 versus Van der Stel 1, and later tonight the exhibition match will be Belleville Tech against Durban. Jumping castles in the back, kiddies, they're jumping. I mean, we catered for the kids so mom and dad can come and watch the games. And yeah, the braai fires are going, the Snoopy is doing well, boereewors rolls, etc.
JP, goed, ons het 'n goeie voorseisoen gehad. En ons het nog redelijk van ons ou manne oor en dan so 'n paar youngsters wat ons nou deurbring. Sit hulle op die proef ook vanmiddag.
Ja, dit lyk goed. Ons is reg vir die game. Baie lus om te speel en gaan 'n goeie wedstryd wees. Van der Stel ons het 'n paar nuwe afrigters in, nuwe kultuur wat ons bou. Ons probeer maar daar's 'n paar studente, 'n paar ouer manne wat daar saam speel. Maar regtig gaan goed. Ons goeie kultuur daar weet. Ja, dinge lyk goed vir die jaar.
Alipad. Gaan 'n goeie game wees dink ek. Gaan ons 'n bietjie kyk waar ver ons is in die pre-season en waar ons is in wanneer speel ons span in ons liga. So hopelik kan ons die ding doen.
Alle jare Kraaifontein.
Ja, maar ons bou nou 'n span vir 2-3 jaar.
Die kraaie.
Die kraaie.
Hier.
En speel julle vriende vandag?
Maar ou speel.
Ja.
Wie?
Michael Collison.
Wat posisie?
Hakker, nommer 2.
Ja, ons is reg. Ons besig om op te warm en ons sien uit na die game. Ons speel teen Tygerberg. Ja, het is 'n taffe game, Super A Liga span. So ons sal ons afspel moet bring. Ja, ons is goeie pre-season gehad. Dinge begin in plek te kom, so ek dink ons is reg vir die seisoen.
Manne, dit lyk goed. Dit lyk regtig maar goed. Ons het hard gewerk in die afseisoen vir hulle. So ja, alles is reg. Ons sien uit na hierdie game vandag.
We are here today, Tygerberg. We're going to play rugby here. Wonderful game with the atmosphere right here. Yes, friendly. We're going to start next week. UCT.
Tolly.
Yes, JP.
Jy lyk om den 10 kilos ligter.
Hey, 12, JP.
Seisoen nog eens begin.
Ons speel teen Kraaifontein, 'n vriendskaplike wedstryd. En ons sien uit daarna om te geniet. En ons voorberei vir die seisoen. Dat is ook ons daar hier.
Okay, I must say it actually was a fantastic day there, but we were running around everywhere trying to film people. I must say big thanks to Billy Collins and the guys. They gave me a little trophy that they asked to bring here today, a little 65th Yandetwe celebration memorabilia item. Thanks to the guys. But isn't that just fantastic? If you just look through the ranks there of who we spoke to about 6 or 7 different teams, their coaches, their captains. We got some of the fans on the show. Mr. H, never in the history of club rugby has clubs got publicity like this.
No, obviously, there was no TV channel for club rugby, and now it's there.
Well, there's still no TV channel for club rugby.
Well, we're
there.
Put it there. But the clubs must make use of it.
Yeah.
Those that are asleep and that are not, grabbing the opportunities that's there, they will just be left behind.
Talking about that, folks, there's been a request put into your council representatives that you're supposed to be supplying your coaches and managers contact details. All right? Apparently, many of your council reps have not handed that in. All right? We need you to participate in the process, and that way we can look after you on the show as well and give publicity to your events. Look at what happened in Kraaifontein. It was absolutely fantastic opportunity for folks to send stuff in. But of course, apologies there to Angelo Broncase, who was captaining Tygerberg on the day. You would have seen me filming him through the fence. It looked a little bit like I was filming him through the bars.
Oh, I thought you were scared of him or something.
I'm a bit scared of him. Have you seen him? And Tolly Oosthuizen didn't, lose 10. He says he lost 12. Okay, so that was absolutely fantastic. And of course, the guys from Solarians, and I think it was Constant that sent in some photographs. And the first picture we've got to show you here is Solarians up against NNK over the weekend. What a beautiful picture that is. Nice quality, zoomed in, great handoff. Don't know if there was a try there. But folks, my absolute, and there's the but pun, my absolute fan pick of the week has to be this one. Also in from that match between Solarians and NNK. Check this out. Oh my goeie genade. Oh my word. There we go. That has to be the fan pick of the week. In actual fact, I think we that one. Okay, we can get it off the screen now. All right, we're going to just keep looking at that picture.
You might have traumatized the.
I know. This is a family show.
We need a name behind the cheeks. Right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you think anyone's going to actually recognize them? Let's go back to that picture there, folks, quickly. All right. Let's have a look at that. If you recognize those cheeks, folks, please let us know. We're looking for a name to add to those cheeks. All right, so send us your names. Maybe just use the find us on Facebook or on Twitter. Okay, please come back to me here. We're on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Okay, so I'm watching the Facebook page right now, and we've had a few questions here actually. Curtis Hobani asked a question: where do you see South African rugby in the next 5 years with all the young talented players? Mr. H, where do you see South African rugby in the next 5 years?
World champions.
World champions? Morgs?
Oh.
Yeah, James, look, there's a hell of a lot of talent coming through, young guys coming through now. I mean, just if you look at the flower position on its own, you know, so many guys that Johan Goosen, the Cheetahs, is putting his hand up. So there's so many guys putting their hands up in pivotal positions, which I think is important. So, yeah, I mean, it all bodes well for the future of SA Rugby.
So, Curtly, there's a positive answer for you, and yeah, let's hope it stays that way. 5 years' time. Well, as you mentioned yourself, Curtly, on Facebook, yeah? www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, folks. Lorenzo Twinkle Toes Kluter, why can't we, as far as the Stellenbosch area, catch the show on DSTV? Unfortunately, we don't broadcast on DSTV. We're looking for volume in numbers. Marvin Theo Maria, the history on Club Rugby, Universals, RFC. Saru Club Champs that played at City Park that you covered last week. Marvin, yeah, of course we did cover that last week. So it is on YouTube if you want to go check that out, the 50-year celebration of City Park as a sports venue. A lot of people popping around there. And Nigel Dupree says, wants to know, what is Sonny Bill Williams' manager saying? And then finally, a question from Luke Lewis. The question there is, how about a segment on the famous kraal in Paul, mistakes, the kraal?
Yeah, it's a part of the rugby heritage in Paul where they used to play.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the people in Paul can't see it.
Well, they can see it if they go onto YouTube, of course, or onto Western Province Club Rugby site, www.wpclubrugby.co.za. One of the places you should check out on the Western Province Club Rugby site, once you've watched the short clips and the uploads, is go to the chat zone and have your say there. It gets pretty heated, though. It has been a little bit quiet lately. Time for us to give away some prizes, courtesy of Mesa Computers. Mesa is, of course, the official IT supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Now, last week we gave away a Mesa W21 CUQ netbook. You can see that picture up on the screen there. And congratulations then to Ian Kotzer. Is it Lan or Ian Kotzer? But anyway, congratulations. You win yourself a Mesa netbook. All you need to do if you want to win yourself this week the keyboard, the Mesa keyboard, is SMS the word, the official supplier to Western Province Rugby as IT supplier, SMS the word to 33280. You can start making a note of this number, folks. This is our new SMS shortcode number, 33280. All right, so if you want to win that, it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, 320 gigabytes of hard drive space, Windows 7 on it, mouse and monitor thrown in for free on top of the keyboard. And you'll remember about 3 weeks ago we gave away the same prize, and it's a keyboard. It's a simple keyboard, and the entire computer is inside the keyboard, and all you need to do is plug it into your monitor, which Mesa kindly enough are now donating on top of that to make sure that you've got the mouse and the keyboard and the whole package to go with it. But otherwise, if you were to buy this, you would buy it normally, if you're not entering the competition, you would not normally just buy the keyboard and your whole computer is in the keyboard. It's a fantastic product, courtesy of Mesa, and we must again say big thanks to Mesa for their support during the course of the season, and of course their support for Cape Town TV with the products that they've managed to sponsor us with. But yes, you want to win yourself that keyboard, plus the monitor, plus the mouse. Just tell us who is the official IT supplier to Western Province Rugby, and the SMS, the number that you need to send that to is to 33280. 33280. Write it down, keep it on your phone. A good idea is to always just have that on your phone, save it as a short code, so you've got an addressless entry there on your cell phone, and off you go. Bob's your uncle. That's easy to do. Just that's your Cape Rugby. That's your Cape Rugby short code. And you can just always front in the tagline number there. Don't forget, during the season, we're also asking people to, on Twitter, when you're tweeting from your clubs, and we want your club rugby Twitter handles, all right? We want you then during the season is to do the hashtag thing, and your media people from your clubs will be able to tell you more about that. But more events taking place over the weekend, and there was, in addition to the fact that we went out to Kraaifontein, we also went out to Brackenfell. Carla Norkeer, who you have seen so many fantastic pictures of last year, who was such a great at least a contributor last year in terms of sending pictures into the show. Well, we've taken it to the next level, and now we're starting to get video in. Even Willie Collins sent us a little video in from Durban, and your media guys at your clubs are learning how to do video now as well. So let's take a look and catch up and see what happened at Brackenfell.
Most of our teams are playing against Paul, and then we've got our fourth team here in the back playing against Durbanville 4. Well, first team against Paul, first team. That's the big one for us.
Lekker rugbydag bij ons. Goed afgeskopt die week. Donderdag een beetje regen gehad voor de eerste keer. Nice geweest om dit weg te zien. Groot verbetering van Nieuweland af.
Die ander spanne maar hulle glo vir Brackenfell se tweede span.
Been a very nice day, good turnout and very exciting. Yeah, I think we could have a good season.
Is friendly, so ons moet begin werk vir die liga. So ons kyk nou wat gebeur hier so. Ons is nog 'n nuwe span, so is maar vir ons verstaan ons maar nuwe goed, nuwe coach gekry. So is vir ons baie lekker en ons sien baie uit hierso.
Blinker is a fertilizer company. We're actually a sister company of a company called SQM. I think my heart has been with them since '83. I started playing with Brackenfell, and after I stopped playing, I said to myself, you know, one day when I make it in the business world, I want to come back and help the guys, and that sort of brought me back to the club, being our ex-Brackenfell player itself.
Ons sien baie uit vir die seisoen. Jy weet ons het hard gewerk die afseisoen. So ons kan nie wag vir die eerste liga game nie.
Wel, ons is excited. Ons het ouens wat kan aanvat voor en dan is ook die ouens wat die game kan losmaak vir ons. Ons is 'n goeie gebalanseerde pak vir ons. So ons sien uit na die seisoen en ek hoop ons kan die liga vat.
Hi.
Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, heart and soul of Brackenfell Rugby Club. So,
Is hy skaap?
Yes.
By Brackenfell?
By Brackenfell Rugby Club.
En jy's nie eens in April nie?
Nee, ek is nie.
Right, folks, there you have it. There was a scarp at Brackenfell on camera, and it was not at Elsie's. All right. Anselm April is going to kill me when he sees me because I actually caught the scarp this time. But another great, and more jumping castles, Mr. X. Everybody's doing jumping castles. But not just jumping castles. What did we achieve there? We achieved the fact that we managed to showcase some of the teams, some of the coaches and captains. I see they were selling shirts on the side, so obviously making a little bit of revenue. There was a bra place there. There was some guy there from with a guitar playing his thing. So a lot of entertainment, a lot of fun.
Sponsors were put out there.
Well, that was the other interesting thing, that maybe some of the clubs still don't get. All right, you still don't get it. You need to give sponsors exposure. And there we were on the day speaking to Dudley from Blinko, who's the sponsor of Brackenfell, giving him exposure. No other television station in the world would do this. I mean, Morgs, this is what we want, right?
Yeah, I mean, James, I mean, it's you know what's nice is that now we get to see the play. I mean, I play in Super League A, and at least you get to see the coaches of the guys in the different leagues, and then the players, and you know, you walk past these guys in the street, and you've never ever greeted before. Now you've seen the guy on TV, you sort of know what club he's related to, and you have a chat, and so we build a community of rugby that we you know, and the options become endless. I mean, like you say, sponsors is going to become play a big role, because I mean the tracksuits are going to want to be branded now, because the coaches are going to wear their tracksuits when you interview them, and I mean, just, you know, like I said, the options become endless in terms of sponsorship.
Well, you just mentioned something interesting, is branding your tracksuit. I mean, brand your tracksuit and you get it on TV and your sponsor is happy. But you know what's interesting that you just mentioned there for me now is I can't actually offhand tell you, I mean, I obviously do know, but I can't, when I look at the clubs now, I don't see them in divisions and leagues anymore. I just see everybody as clubs playing for Western Province Rugby. Albert Tradesman playing for Brackenfell?
Yeah, he's a great player. He played amateur team, and I think he could go quite far if he really puts his mind to it.
Yeah.
And they've got a few good players there.
Brackenfell?
Yeah,
he's a good player.
Well, they certainly seem to have a lot of support from the community in terms of supporting those events. And interesting to meet one of the guys from the forum, from the chat zone on the Western Province, Paddy, who, you know, when you're on the Club Rugby site, on the chat zone, you see all these anonymous names, you never know who they are. And one of the guys came and introduced me. He's been playing for Brackenfell since he was, for the last 20 years, 19 years or so, and came and introduced me. He said, Paddy, hello, my man. Nice to have said hello to you there. Yeah, so let's take a look at some of the other events then that are coming up over the weekend. Again, one of the big events this weekend is this April festival, or at least the Easter weekend tournament. It's at the Nyanga Stadium. A little bit hard to see on your screen there, I know, but let me read it to you. It's on the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. At Laguna, or at least Laguna at the Nyanga Stadium. So it's going to be an absolute rugby festival. The president of Laguna is going to be there. There's going to be former veterans, the South African manager for development and club rugby, Mervyn Green, is going to be there. But most importantly, or at least not most important, but not the least, is the mayor is going to be there, Patricia DeLille, Oregon Hoskins, the president of SA Rugby, the sports minister, Fikile Malula, is going to be there, as well as the mayoral committee member for community services, Mrs. Tandeka Gorde. And top it off then, of course, Laguna under-17 is playing against the New South Wales under-17 team, all the way down from Australia. Mr. H, this is a big event, huh?
Yeah, but you didn't say that Mr. H will also be there.
Mr. H will also be there.
That's the big attraction.
That's the big attraction.
The jumping castle will be there.
The jumping castles, yes.
Yes, JP, it's a massive organization. Saru has put a lot of money into this. There are 13 or 14 teams coming from other parts of the country. And, you know, I think the one, I'm not quite sure, I think the Motherwell team was withdrawn after the tragedy that struck them there.
Yes, yeah.
But it's great to have this tournament. It's a tradition, and you know, they move the tournament annually to different parts of the country.
Right.
Eastern Cape, Northern Cape.
But you've got some big names here. The president of South African Rugby, the mayor of Cape Town, the minister of sport in South Africa, all coming down to Nyanga, to the Laguna Rugby Football Club, and it's going to be good.
But people must understand, you know, that kind of culture over the Easter weekend in that area. There's another tournament just down the road.
At Wraithby's?
No. At NY49 in Guguletu.
Yes,
the Young Brothers have also got 16 teams coming to take part in their tournament.
Young Brothers, 16 teams.
Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Right, of course, Wraithby Universals, the guys sent me a little flyer here. This they've been putting out. So Wraithby Universals also doing some great work. Also got an Easter tournament going on from the 5th until the 9th. Wraithby Universals celebrating 110 years of rugby in Wraithby and 20 years since unification. So there's coaching clinics for the boys, there's semi-finals, there's just a heck of a lot happening out over the Easter weekend then. Right, it's time for us to give a little giveaway for you. If you want to go away with your loved one night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. To win, just SMS the word leisure and your name to 33280. Last week's winner was Alice Michaels. Congratulations, Alice. You and yourself one night's accommodation, bed and breakfast. You think this is Alice from Elsie's?
Yes, that's Alice. Eh?
Alice, congratulations. Your hard work is finally paying off. Right, so there you have it, last week's winner. And once again, if you want to put yourself in a line to win one night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers, then just SMS the word leisure to 32010. Of course, it's time for us to take a quick ad break. When we come back, we'll take a look at Union on the Spot. We'll do our colour tone feature, and we'll catch up with the guys at the terrible tragedy of Superbrew, who went up and who went down. Back with you guys in a second. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV live at 9. We are live on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. It's time for us to look at Union on the Spot. And, of course, the feature this week is Mr. H. Big announcement about the President's Trust Fund.
Yeah, it's an initiative to raise money into a separate fund outside of the Union's normal funding, where we can assist boys who need assistance.
All right, and one of the ways that you did it was by raising funds at the Golf Day last week, which was the President's Trust Golf Day. We managed to catch up with some of the guys at the Golf Day. Check it out. You guys ready for a lekker day?
Yeah,
awesome
of course,
day.
man.
What are you expecting today?
A hard day at the office.
I don't know so much. This wind is intimidating me a little bit. I'm on top of the woods, man, almost like Tiger Woods.
It's my last year as president as per constitution. And I thought a lot about it. What can I do in terms of something that can be of benefit to Western Province? En ek het toe gedink dat ons president die hele trust moet stig.
So dis natuurlik 'n kwessie van mense wat nie almal miskien die bygawes het wat baie kinders het nie en hulle kan aansoek doen na die fonds en kyk of WP dan kan help.
That's absolutely correct because the assistance is going to be in the form of bursaries.
Right mense, hierso saam met nou is een van die sterk manne van WP Rugby, Reinhard Elstad. Reinhard, hoe lyk dit?
Ja, great, thanks. En jy, gaan dit goed?
Ja nee, dan gaan nou raai, die golf kom ek beker gewees vandag. Ek sien julle was daar agter ons, maar dit was net so nat vir julle, né?
Ja nee, dit was moeë nat. Op die einde, by die begin was dit shocking geweest. Ek kon nie se bal oor die ladies team verbyslaan nie.
Dus hoe sien jy uit na die toer? Dis die Crusaders, die Highlanders, die Force en die Reds, dis 4 tawwe games.
Ja, dis 'n tawwe toer. Al 4 spanne moet wenne kry om goeders om in die game te bly en ons is op 'n oomblik op 'n goeie plek en so ek dink ons is baie confident op 'n toer gaan. As die Bulls deurtrek en dan dink ek ons sal goed doen op 'n toer. Ons moet net vasbyt in ons span saamspeel.
With me now is the CEO of Desalza Golf, Dave Hansen. Dave, it was a great day today.
Fantastic day. Lovely to be with you guys. Lovely weather, kind of stormers weather, you know. I'm sure you guys all found it a bit challenging.
What is it that makes Desalza such a nice course?
I think there are a couple of things. One is the location in the capital of the winelands of South Africa, and I would say the intellectual capital of South Africa being Stellenbosch. This is our Oxford and Cambridge rolled into one. And when you play here, you're surrounded by vineyards and olive groves, and you look at the mountains. It's just special.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us at Desalza with the DHL Stormers Golf Day. Tonight here I have Siamthanda Kolisi. Now Siamthanda Kolisi, all the fans want to know why they call you the Bear.
Apparently it's the hits that I make on the field. And how does it feel to know that you're going with Nizam and Sia?
Yo!
No, I'm excited. Yeah, you should know we've been talking about it for a while. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Enjoy your evening.
You have your time. Listen, guys, thanks for joining us. You guys, it was a pleasure having you, and best of luck for the tour.
Thank you very much.
There we go, folks. Our new Cape Town TV presenters.
The union's giving a cheque to the trust of 155,000. We raised 80,000 rand today for our youth for next year's bursary. So that's fantastic, guys. Well done. Mr. President, I shake your hand on the initiative and that we go well and that this trust will be a legacy that you leave behind and it will grow from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go, folks. The guys raising some money at the golf day, and incidentally, that was not the president, Mr. Toby Titus' last year. That was his last day. The very next day, he got elected into SARU's SA Rugby's onto the board, and you have now acting president Thello Wakefield steps in.
That's right. He will be until the end of November when the annual general meeting of the union takes place.
There seems to be a lot of faith in Mr. Wakefield. He's a strong man. He thinks strategically. And
that's his life.
That's his life.
Yeah.
And he doesn't take nonsense.
No. And he's big.
And he's big. Looking forward to working there with the new acting president, Mr. Thello Wakefield, steps in place of Mr. Toby Titus. We got from Out the Closet Rugby. We got a name for our fan pick, folks.
Yes.
And the name is Buddy Holly. That comes in from out closet rugby, folks. And by the way, we're still going to get Out Closet Rugby. We spoke about it before. We've got to get him on the show. Who gathers clothes and donates it into the communities. Colourtone Paints is, of course, your White Line Fever hamper of choice. You can win yourself a hamper courtesy of Colourtone Fever. All you need to do is SMS the word Colourtone, COLORTONE, and your club's name to 33280. Last week's winner was, at least this week's winner is Silver Tree. Congratulations, Silver Tree. You win yourself a hamper courtesy of Colourtone Paints. Just tell us if you want to win the same hamper courtesy of Colourtone Paints, which is of course available at your nearest hardware store. 33280. And don't forget your club's name. Let's take a look now at the Stormers team coming up this week. There's only been one change. Joe Peterson stays at fullback. Gio Aplon, Jean de Jong, Jean de Villiers, Brian Banner, Peter Grant, Devil Divenach, Dwayne Vermeulen, Reynard Elstad, Sia Khaleesi, Andries Becker, Eben Etzebeth. Frans Malherbe comes in for Brock Harris. That is your only change. They take on the Highlanders on Saturday. Kickoff is at 25-10. Let's take a look at Super Brew predictions now. It's going to be a big one this week and a pretty tough one. Let's take a look at Let's go take a quick look at we're going to take a look now at the rankings there. Just off the top of the head, Morgs, how did it go for you?
It's much better week for me.
Yeah.
No, like I said, back into the top 95.
Mr. H, you seem to be a little bit up and down, but you still stay in the top 10.
Yeah. As long as I stay up there.
As long as you stay up there, it's always down to that last little point. Let's take a quick look at the rankings then. How did you do on Super Brew? You can, of course, join us on www.superbrew.com. Just do a search there for Cape Rugby TV. Ben de Beer is right on the top. Urban Warrior stays at the top as well. The top performer, there you can see it with the yellow cap, is Willie Vicky. All right, Milky 009 stays in 4th place, or at least moves up 1 place. Caveman Vern Landy, Mr. H is drawn in 7th and 8th place. Double D and Adrian, congratulations, you guys stay in the mix. Let's take a look now at some of the fixtures over the weekend. The Rebels take on the Blues in Melbourne, and that must be on Friday, the 5th at 20-12. The Hurricanes take on the Sharks, the Reds take on the Brumbies, the Force and the Chiefs, the Highlanders and the Stormers on Saturday at 9:35. The Cheetahs up against the Lions, and the Bulls take on the Crusaders. Right, gentlemen, quick predictions there. Morgs, let's start with you. Let's go with the Rebels and the Blues.
I got the Blues by 10, James.
You got the Blues by 10.
Blue 7.
Blue 7. Gentlemen, I'm going against the stream here. I'm going to go with the Rebels by 5. Hurricanes and the Sharks, Morgs.
Jason, I got the Sharks by 7.
You got the Sharks by 7, Mr.
Hurricanes 7.
I got the Hurricanes by 9. It's the Reds and the Brumbies. Morgs.
I've got the Reds by 3, JP. I think they'll bounce back.
They'll bounce back, Mr.
Brumbies by 10.
I got the Brumbies by 12, Mr. H, and I think along the same lines. The Force and the Chiefs.
Chiefs by 9.
Chiefs by 9.
Chiefs 15.
Same as me. Chiefs by 15 again, Mr. H. You and I on the same page. Highlanders and Stormers, the big one.
I said Stormers by 8. I think it's going to be tough in Dunedin, but I'll give it to the Stormers.
How much?
By 8.
Stormers by 8, Mr. H.
12.
Stormers by 12. I'm going to give it Stormers by 4. Cheetahs and the Lions, Morgs.
James, I've got the Cheetahs by 5.
Cheetahs by 5.
Cheetahs 8.
Cheetahs 8. I've got Cheetahs 7. We are very close here, so many of us. Bulls and the Crusaders, final one.
Bulls by 5, JP.
Bulls by 5.
Crusaders 5.
And I'm going to go with Morgs' 1 year. I'm going to go Bulls by 6. Gentlemen, thank you very much for a fantastic show. Folks, if you are out there, don't forget to send us all your information to easiest place to do it is on Facebook, Cape Rugby TV on Facebook. We'll see you guys again next week. Follow us on Twitter at Cape Rugby TV. We'll be at the Easter tournament on Saturday. Join us again next week live on Wednesday at 9. And don't forget to go to the Club Rugby website to check out some of the videos, www.wpclubrugby.co.za. That's a wrap. Have a great rugby weekend. Bye-bye.